input to the output. Kinematic linearity, afterwards reflected initial amplification. So this type of amplification you have in air system, belt drive, gear drive, chain drive. In rope drive, you have amplification. Say, all of you seen the big gear is connected to the small gear. For example, the diameter, for example, for example, consider the diameter of the bigger gear wheel is 400 millimeter, and you have a smaller gear wheel which is meshed with a bigger gear wheel of 40 millimeter. Imagine the diameter of the bigger gear wheel is 400 and the smaller gear wheel is 40 millimeter. Say, if, say for example, one rotation of the bigger gear wheel, you will get one rotation of one, say you will get 10 times rotation of the smaller gear wheel. That you can say 10 is to 1. 10 is to 1. Say that is, or you can define like this, 1 is to 10. One rotation of the bigger gear wheel, from that you have 10 times rotation of the smaller gear wheel. That is reflected inertial amplification that can be calculated by using the relation FIR. Next, come to the problem. All of you observed, faced the problem, temperature problem. Say I ask you to measure the temperature of the oil in the laboratory morning 11 o'clock to evening 5 o'clock in the interval of 1 hour. 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock, 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock and 5 o'clock. Say at morning 11 o'clock, you have the temperature 35 degrees centigrade. At afternoon 1 o'clock, you have 37 degrees centigrade. At 3 o'clock, you have 39 degrees centigrade. And again, at 5 o'clock, you have 35 degrees centigrade. Why? The oil is same, thermometer is same, everything same. But the thing is, the condition, environmental condition is different. The humidity, the moisture content present in the environment, which affect the measurement. So that is the temperature problem. In that case, you have zero shift. Zero shift. This indicates that is always you have to adjust the instrument to read zero. Always adjust the instrument to read zero before starting of the experiment. Before starting of the experiment. That call it as null balance. That we call it as null balance. Say in some of the instruments, you will not have zero measurement. The dial or indicator will not show zero. That is, there will be little shift in the dial. That is called zero shift. That can be avoided by using the adjustment screw or adjustment lever provided in the instrument. Next, come to the point, the scale error. Scale error. Say, after continuous use of instrument, whether it is steel scale, whether it is steel scale, vernier caliper, dial indicator, or micrometer, vernier height gauge, vernier depth gauge, or any instrument, if you use it for continuously for 10 years or 15 years, there will be wear and tear, there will be damage to the graduations present on the surface of the measuring instrument. So while carrying out the measurement, we make mistakes. That is, say for example, you have to take 11th division. While considering the division, instead of taking 11, you take 12 or 13. That is the scale error. That is the scale error. That can be minimized or avoided by using new measuring instrument or you can take the average of the reading. Next, come to the point. Say electrical intermediate modifying system. Electrical. Say previous concept is the intermediate modifying system, where we can have inherent problems, that is due to mechanical problem, that is the temperature problem and the scale error. In electrical intermediate modifying system, usually there will be two types of intermediate modifying systems. Electrical intermediate modifying system, one is input circuitry, other one is Wheatstone bridge circuit. Intermediate modifying system, in case of electrical intermediate modifying system, the input circuit, that is the ballast circuit, is used as the intermediate modifying system. So what all the components present in ballast circuit is the input voltage that's coming from the battery, that is EI, and the ballast resistant RB, and the rheostat K is the constant, R is the input resistance, and the voltage indicator, that is the output coming from the input circuitry. Usually this ballast circuit is used in measurement of surface roughness. Next, come to the point. Very, very important. Later, next unit, next module, we have to study strain measurement. In case of axial measurement of axial strain, measurement of bending strain, measurement of torsional strain, where you have to use Wheatstone bridge circuit along with the strain gauges for measurement of strain. So this is very, very important. This is also considered as intermediate modifying system. Next, come to the point, terminating devices. Terminating devices. Say the terminating devices, the name itself indicates terminating, the end, terminator, end, terminating devices. Usually, terminating devices are cathode ray oscilloscope, or digital indicator, or speedometer in case of measurement of speed. So that is the terminating devices. So the introduction, from the terminating device, you have the output of the measurement. You have the output of the measurement. Usually cathode ray oscilloscope, digital indicator, digital speedometer, or the energy meter, XY plotter, or graphs, and the few more things, X-ray concept. You can use the X-ray concept for terminating devices. So that is the end device which provides the result of the measurement. Say, next, come to the point, the mechanical intermediate system. For mechanical intermediate system, who is writing on this? Who is writing? Remove that. Otherwise, I'll stop this stage. What is this? Remove this. Who is writing on the screen? Remove this. Remove. Who is writing RIP? Remove that. Who is writing RIP on the screen? Remove that. Otherwise, I will stop at this stage. Who is writing on the screen? Who is writing on the screen? ಗಣೇಶ್
ಹಾ ಸರ್.
ಯಾರೋ ಏನೋ ಬರಿತಾ ಇದಾರೆ ನೋಡಿ ಸ್ಕ್ರೀನ್ ಮೇಲೆ, ರಿಪ್ ಅಂತ.
ಸರ್ ಅದು ಸರ್ ನಿಮ್ದ್ರಲ್ಲಿ ಬರುತ್ತೆ ನೋಡಿ ಸರ್, ಯಾರು ಬರ್ದಿರ್ತಾರೆ ಅಂತ ನೋಟಿಫಿಕೇಶನ್.
ಹೌದಾ? ಹಾ, ಎಲ್ಲಿ ಬರ್ತದೆ
ಸರ್? ಇಟ್ಲ ಲೆಫ್ಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇರುತ್ತೆ ಸರ್ ಅದು.
ಪ್ರಭು, ಅದು ಮಾತಾಡಿದ ಅಷ್ಟೇ ಕನ್ಸುತ್ತೆ ತೋರ್ಸೋದು.
ಅಲ್ಲೋ ಇದ್ಲಾಗ ಇರುತ್ತೆ ಅವ್ರದ್ದು.
ಯಾರು ಬರ್ತಿರೋದು ರಿಪ್ ಅಂತ?
ಸರ್ ಅದನ್ನ ನಾವ್ ರಿಮೂವ್ ಮಾಡಕ್ ಆಗ್ತಿಲ್ಲ ಸರ್, ಬರ್ದಿರೋರೇ ರಿಮೂವ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕು.
ಯಾರು ಬರ್ದಿರೋದು ಅದು?
ಸರ್ ಗೊತ್ತಿಲ್ಲ.
ಇರೋದೇ 5 ಜನ ಸರ್.
ಇರೋದೇ 6 ಜನ, 5 ಜನ ಇದ್ರ. ನೀವು 5 ಜನ ಯಾರೋ ಒಬ್ರು ಬರ್ದಿರ್ಬೇಕು.
ನಾವಲ್ಲ ಸರ್, ನಾವಲ್ಲ.
ನೀವಲ್ಲ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಇರೋದೇ 5 ಜನದಲ್ಲಿ ಇನ್ಯಾರು? ಇರೋದೇ 5 ಜನ ಇವತ್ತು ಕ್ಲಾಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ. ಯಾರು ಬರ್ದಿರೋದು? ಲೈನ್ ಹಾಕಿದ್ರು ತೆಗೆದ್ರು ಅದನ್ನ. ಆಮೇಲೆ ಈಗ ರಿಪ್ ಅನ್ನೋದು ಒಂದು ಉಳ್ಕೊಂಡಿದೆ. ಓಕೆ, ಡೋಂಟ್ ವರಿ, ಐ ವಿಲ್ ಕಂಟಿನ್ಯೂ ಆಸ್ ಇಟ್ ಇಸ್.
ಹಾ ಸರ್, ಮಾಡಿ ಸರ್.
Say the mechanical intermediate system, that is nothing but all of you seen, all of you experienced, that is the speedometer. So all of you seen in the two-wheeler, the speed in which the vehicle is running, you can see the speed of the vehicle. That's the mechanical counter. Say the last one, the 1/10th of the RPM, that's the speed of the vehicle. Say after rotation of 10 times, the last wheel, you have one movement of the intermediate or successive wheel in the speedometer. That is nothing but mechanical counter. That is nothing but mechanical counter. And also all of you seen in printing press, the printing of numbers on the receipts. This is the clockwise, it is the ascending order. That is in the ascending order. The mechanical counter, that's very, very important for mechanical engineers. That is the speedometer and the numbers printed on the receipts in the printing press. That's the two good examples for mechanical counter. Next, come to the point, electronic counter. Say all of you seen in the cricket match, whether it is a one-day international or 2020, the number of audiences present in the stadium, they give, there will be 10,000 audience are there, 10,000 visitors are there, like that. That is nothing but they have to pass through the chamber where they have the sensors. That sensors gives the number of persons passing through the sensor. That is the electronic counter, usually used in malls, stadium and other places for counting of number of persons in the stadium or in the mall. Next, come to the point, in the electronic intermediate system, the very good example is cathode ray oscilloscope. All of you please write down the question. Explain briefly with a neat sketch. Explain briefly with a neat sketch cathode ray oscilloscope. Cathode ray oscilloscope. In bracket write down CRO. In bracket write down CRO. Say first, before explaining this CRO, where do you use the CRO? First point, say that is in TV tube. All of you seen Dome TV, that is 21 inches or 29 inches TVs. All of you seen. There will be a cathode ray oscilloscope, CRO, cathode ray oscilloscope. The Dome TV, all of you seen the 21 inch or 29 inch, that is the cathode ray oscilloscope, which is used as the TV screen in multimedia. And next come to the point, cathode ray oscilloscope in X-ray machines. X-ray machines. And also you have ECG, echocardiography, and all the monitors. You have the cathode ray oscilloscope. The first understand the principle of operation of the cathode ray oscilloscope. Here there will be an anode that is connected to the heater which emits the electrons. Remember, this is the heater. Inside you cannot see the anode which emits the electrons. This is the collector. Whichever the electrons are present are collected in the collector, made to hit on the grid, made to impinge on the grid, After that, there will be accelerating anodes, whichever the electrons coming here, which are accelerated in the accelerating anode, and there will be plates are present, that is horizontal deflection plate and the vertical deflection plates. Horizontal deflection plate and the vertical deflection plate. Say, you might have seen black and white TV, a backside of the TV, there will be a knob. In that, you can adjust the figure or adjust the image on the screen, that is in the horizontal direction as well as in the vertical direction. There will be two knobs are present in the backside of the black and white TV. From that, you can adjust the vertical and as well as horizontal image of the view, by adjusting the horizontal deflection plate and the vertical deflection plate. And after coming to this, the image which is coming on the screen. After that, the image coming on the fluorescent screen. This is nothing but cathode ray oscilloscope. Once again, the anode is present. You cannot see here. The anode is connected to the heater. Say the principle of operation of cathode ray oscilloscope. All of you listen here. That is, the anode is present inside the tube and which is connected to the heater. Due to the heater, the anode starts to emit the electrons, and here you have a U-shaped collector which collects the anodes from the collects the electrons from the anode and made to hit or impinge on the grid, and the grid makes the electron to pass the anode. Here the electrons are accelerating. So these anodes made the electrons to accelerate in this direction. And you have two types of plates. One is horizontal deflection plate and the other one is vertical deflection plate. And after that, you have a fluorescent screen. Whichever the electrons coming here, you can adjust horizontal direction by adjusting the horizontal deflection plate, and you can adjust the electrons in the vertical direction by adjusting the vertical deflection plate. Then the entire image, that is the anode, that is the electrons which is coming in this direction, that can be seen by using fluorescent screen, what we call it as a TV tube. That is the fluorescent screen. Here you have the image. That is the principle of operation of cathode ray oscilloscope. All of you write down the question. Explain briefly with the neat sketch. Cathode ray oscilloscope. So this is the explanation regarding cathode ray oscilloscope. So what all the parts or what all the items present in the cathode ray oscilloscope? This is the cathode ray tube, electronic gun, deflection plates, and the fluorescent screen. This is the principle of operation of the CRO. Next, come to the point, oscillographs. Oscillograph. Say the oscillographs also considered as terminating device. Okay, I will continue this in the next class. This much is enough for this class, and I will continue in the next class. And tomorrow is holiday. Tomorrow, May Day. For that reason, tomorrow is holiday. I stop at this stage. I will continue in the next class. Thank you very much. Thank you.
ನಾಳೆ ಏನ್ ಡೇ?
May Day, May Day. May Day, Workers Day, Ganesh.
ಹಾ ಸರ್ ಗೊತ್ತು ಸರ್.
ಗೊತ್ತಾಯ್ತಾ? Okay, ಅಮ್ಮ. Thank you.
ಹಾ
Thank you
ಸರ್.
very much.